today we have 3 Winchester pump shotguns that are going to represent 109 years of history. Well, actually a little bit more, but let's just get into it right now. So here we have the Winchester 97 pump shotgun, and you've probably seen this in several of my videos, and if you haven't, please go back and watch them. I love getting them. Shotgun is, of course, started being produced in 1897. Some of the original patents, though, came from earlier than that, I think 1893, when there was an earlier version produced by John Moses Browning. Anyway, these were made up until the 50s, I believe 56 or 54. 1956, they stopped producing the Model 97s, and the Model 12s have been made since, well, you won't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out, since 1912. I think August 1912, in fact, and these were produced until 1964. The third shotgun we have it's the Winchester 1300, and it represents the 1200 series of guns today. Alright, so this is the shotgun that started it all, really. It's the 97, and I love this shotgun. It is getting old. They're not the greatest for competition unless you got a reproduction one, or you've got one that's been smithed over a few times. I love having an open hammer, and I love having a half-cock safety on my shotgun. It's just kind of cool. Anyway, there's not much I'm going to say on this video about these shotguns, except for if you have an old one way to making them live a lot longer is don't frig around with the takedown mechanism on these things. That's where little parts can get stripped, and they can get dirty, get lost, and your mag tube can get all frigged up. And I find that once you get this thing working, you just want to leave it alone and put it in your gun cabinet and not worry about the takedown mechanism. I know that's a real attractive feature about these things, that you can store them in a steamer trunk, but I think at the age that these are, unless you have a reproduction, you might just want to leave it in one piece. That's my public service announcement. Anyway, the Model 12 is probably one of my favorite shotguns, and I guess it's it just feels sturdy. It just feels right when the action slides. You just know when it's ready to fire again. Hard to describe unless you actually own one or handled one. It just feels like a solid shotgun. You get a steel receiver with a steel trigger guard. Everything's hand fit together. And I guess that was its downfall. Back in the late 50s, when the 870s came out, they were probably going for $80. These were probably going for $95 to $100. $15, $20 was a lot of money back then. And other than the fact that this thing is a bit of a bugger to load, this is my favorite shotgun, the Model 12. Made from August 1912 to 1964. They made some limited runs from 1964 on to 2006, I do believe, but those were just limited runs. And it does slam fire, another reason I bought it, but it is just a nice shotgun. It's well put together. Everything's hand fit, steel receiver, steel trigger guard, just wonderful. The feel of the action, well, it feels like somebody hand fit this, and but there's a price to that, and the price was labor. Economics sucked this, and our own need to have cheap products, I guess. Anyway, it's a shame, but I have one, so I'm very happy. Like I said, there's a couple million of these floating around, so if you get your hands on one of them, take good care of it. And again, the same on this one. The takedown mechanism's maybe not quite as fragile. There's a little bit more support for the mag tube here, but once you have it put together, don't take it apart if you don't need to. I guess, that leads to one of the variants was the 25, and that was the Model 12 that didn't take down. And one of the neat variants is a 410, and I think it was called a Model 42. But again, enough of the shotgun geek stuff. Let's shoot this thing. Alright, our last iteration of shotgun, today anyway, is the Winchester 1300. I guess the Winchester 1200 as well. And some say that the only thing that really the 1200 and the 12 had in common was the 1 and the 2. But they were completely different shotguns, and well, the action certainly was. Maybe on the 1300 they had the corncob foregrip, but you know that they're probably correct. These are a nice shotgun. They're fast. They made out of aluminum, so they're a little lighter. They don't feel quite as solid as the Model 12, and I'm still getting used to the action myself. I'm kind of new to this shotgun. But a lot of these were made as well, and these really evolved into the SXP shotguns, and those are still being made. So, but these stopped production in 2006. 1897. Oh, one left. And she's clear. This one has an additional round that you can load into it because I got a special follower and spring. And the Model 12. And clear. And finally the Winchester 1300. And clear. Apparently can't count on that one either. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed your 109 years of Winchester pump shotguns. And of course, poor planning on my part, I brought Remington shotgun shells. Mind you, the shells work just fine, and if I got the cheap Winchester target loads, they probably would have jammed up anyway. So thanks for watching. See you at the range.